everyone. I colored in Hanna Karlzon's space coloring book that's made for children, but it was really fun over Space September 2024. But I had a few problems while I was going. I'm just learning how to color. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to bump the camera. I'm just learning to color, so everything is a little bit more difficult for me. However, it was more difficult than I thought it should be. So I started out coloring using these colored pencils. They're like the Faber-Castell Sparkle or something like that. They come in a tin and then they come sometimes in a paper package. I love these pencils. They're really nice. This is the pages I did in these pencils. I could barely get one layer of pencil down, which I mentioned in my my September completed pages. After a while of coloring with these, I was giving up. Like, it was taking so long. I just was getting really frustrated. Like you can see here on this blue one, I'll even lift it up some here. On that blue, like, it was just like putting waxy residue on, because the bottom layer, the lighter color blue, ended up burnishing, or I ended up burnishing by accident sometimes because I was pushing so hard just to get some color out of these pencils. So it was very frustrating. So I was like, well, maybe it's the paper and not the pencils. So I got Creepy Cutie, the other book I was coloring in in September, and I just went to the test page and I used these ones, the Faber-Castell Sparkle pencils, and I got like 6 or 7 layers, and what didn't even have to really burnish. And I ended up burnishing it by the end just because I sometimes like it that way. But I was able to get a lot more layers out of these pencils with this paper. And we all know this is the Amazon paper. It's not amazing, but it's got some more tooth to it, which I am learning, right? Because apparently tooth is very, very important when it comes to pencil paper. So I was like, well, okay, let me try markers. So I knew I couldn't use alcohol markers on this paper because it's double-sided, and I would just lose the other page, and I didn't want to do that. So, sorry, keeps moving on me. So I decided I would try some water-based markers. So I used my Zig, what are they called? Zig Clean Color Real Brush watercolor brush pen markers. These ones. And I went ahead and colored this star mandala. And I mean, I didn't do anything. I didn't add water or anything. I just colored it basically with these. And it came out fine. No bleed through at all. Nothing bled through, and I was like, okay, so I definitely can use water-based markers on this. And I was like, maybe a different kind of pencil might work. Maybe a softer pencil, because those Faber-Castell pencils, they are kind of hard. So I was like, well, let me try Prismacolors, because we know they're soft. So I went in with my Prismacolors, and on this guy, I put like 5 layers down, and it just kind of like, that was it. That was all it was going to take. And then I was trying to put a darker color on, and it wouldn't take it, because after the 5th layer, he was done, right? But then down here, I was like, well, I really need to try this where I can add layers and layer upon layer upon layer and see what happens. So down here, I just started with the light green did one layer and then went in with the dark green and did one layer, and then the light green, one layer. So the darker green, by the time it got to the when it stopped adding color and just sort of pushing the wax around, was on the 4th layer of color on these areas. So you can use Prismacolors in here. For us colorists that are new and, you know, tend to accidentally burnish a lot, push too hard, everything else. If you do this softly enough, you can get 4 layers in here, and maybe more, but I got 4. But that you have to be careful, because you don't want to accidentally put all 4 layers on your lightest color before you put your other colors in, shade and tint, because you'll lose that ability, because you won't be able to put any more layers down. So I just wanted to show everybody that, so that if you're working in this book, or there's one called Party as well that looks kind of cute that I'll probably get. And I don't know, this paper might be the same as Hanna Karlzon's other books. Let me see, I have one right back here. So this is Tales from the Witch's Cottage. Oh no, it's very different, I think. This is toothier. This is more tooth than this one. Not a ton, but it does have more tooth. So just be aware of that when you're using Hanna Karlzon's books. And there's nothing wrong with that. We just know double-sided, you can use water-based markers. They don't bleed through, and you just have to be careful with your pencil layering. That's all I had for this video. I will shortly have another video on how I fixed an oopsie on a bookmark I made, and I will get that out shortly as well. And I will also very soon get out my video on my October picks for coloring pages. So if we I guess probably within the day, hopefully I'll get those out. But I'll get this one out right now, and then, so if anybody's still coloring in their space books, or their party book, or a Hanna Karlzon book, and they're new to coloring, they kind of know that Prismacolors work, but other pencils might not work very well in this book. Thank you again. If you liked what you saw, please hit the little thumbs up and like my videos. Also subscribe and share it with your friends and family that you think would enjoy this or have use of it. I really appreciate you guys. I'm having a lot of fun, and I hope that we can all continue to have tons of fun on all of our videos and Instagram and YouTube and everywhere else. Thank you. Love you guys. Bye.